And that was Pretty Shining People, George Ezra. Coming up, we've got the award-winning 100 Club. I just thought I'd talk a little bit about thinking. Yeah, because we all do it, and sometimes we do good thinking and sometimes we do not so good thinking, and I'm kind of linking that in to the words of this song where George Ezra talks about overthinking and second guessing. And as I said, there's lots of different ways that we think. Sometimes people just group it all together and there's thoughts. But some of the unhelpful thinking styles that we have, I'm reading this off a piece of paper that you can see, is all or nothing thinking. And that's sometimes called black and white thinking, where you might say something like, I can't do anything right, it's always all going wrong. There's also overgeneralizing. Everything is always rubbish and nothing good ever happens. So we kind of group our lives together. There's lots and lots of different ways that we think that can be unhelpful. But it's just sometimes just keeping an eye on your thoughts and seeing where they are. You might personalise everything, blaming yourself for taking responsibility for something that isn't actually 100% completely your fault. That's something that I used to do. If anything went wrong, it was my fault. I'm responsible for everything that goes wrong in the world. But obviously I've learnt and I've moved on from that, and I need to pass that responsibility on to other people. It's not my responsibility if something goes wrong. So just bear in mind that we do have different thoughts, and there are some that are quite unhelpful. So it's a matter of just checking in with yourself every now and then. So as I said, coming up, we've got the award-winning 100 Club here on Chorley FM.
This is the Community Radio Award-winning Chorley FM 100 Club. For details of any
I could talk a bit more about those sorts of things because I've only got 24 seconds left to talk on the radio before I sign off, so I'll just do a bit of stuff before the news and then that's me done. I've got clients this afternoon when I get home, so it's not like I finished work or anything. Don't think I'll be sat in the garden in the sun. So yeah, looking at this piece of paper, there's lots of different things that we can do. There's all or nothing thinking. There's having a mental filter, only paying attention to certain types of evidence, that's a really good one, because sometimes we don't hear the good stuff. If people gives us a compliment or says that we're really good at something, if that doesn't fit in with our state of mind and where we are in that moment, we tend to disregard it. But woe betide, that's a good Lancashire saying, woe betide if anybody says something that's a bit critical. We'll hang on to that sometimes for a long time. So it's just about where's your mental filter. And if you remember, if we're at the bottom of the escalator and our state of mind isn't in a good place, it's really good for us to filter out the nice things that people say and the nice things that are happening to us. Jumping to conclusions, mind reading and fortune telling, that's a really good one. That's something about active listening as well. Maybe somebody starts off saying something and we automatically know where it's going. We automatically assume that we know where this conversation's going. So there are two key types of jumping to conclusions: mind reading, imagining we know what others are going to say and thinking, and fortune telling, predicting the future. There's also emotional reasoning, assuming that because we feel a certain way that we think that what we think must be true, and I talk about that an awful lot. Our thoughts create our reality, and that's it. It's all based on our thinking. So if our reality is that our life isn't going that well at the moment, then we're going to think that way. Hi Susan, Susan's watching. Labelling, assigning labels to ourselves and others. I'm a loser, I'm stupid, I'm no good, those sort of things. Again, that all comes from our thoughts and our thinking. Overgeneralising, I mentioned that. Disqualifying the positive, discounting the good things that have happened to you and that you have done for some reason or another, and they don't count. So yeah, if we do something, and I don't know, say you've qualified in something, I'm really good at doing that. I've got drawers and drawers full of qualifications that I do, and I just qualify and then move on to the next thing and move on to the next thing. And I don't actually congratulate myself or recognise all the work that I do in certain areas. Susan's put, oh, your mind lies. Yeah, it does. It doesn't lie. We don't do it on purpose. It's just that our thoughts create our reality and we live our life by that reality. So it's not an on-purpose thing. It's just how it works. It's really interesting that two people can look at one situation or one person and have completely different thoughts about it. So it's nothing to do with the person or the event. It's more to do with us and how we think about things. Should and must, using critical words like should, must, ought can make us feel guilty or like we have already failed. you should do this or you ought to do that. I don't like being told what I should and shouldn't do. That's usually when it doesn't fib either. Fib's the same as a lie, Susan. What are you going on about? But yeah, if somebody tells me that I should do something, I'm likely to rebel. That's when I go into my child ego state and stamp my feet and say, no, well, I'm not doing it if you tell me I should do. And like I said, blaming yourself for taking responsibility for everything that goes wrong. So yeah, it's just worth bearing in mind, keeping an eye on your thoughts and where they are, and just remember you're only one thought away from your next thought, which is really quite interesting. I'm just looking up there because I left my mic on before and I think it was on for about 30 seconds, so I'm not even sure whether the records were playing, which is very naughty. Shh, don't tell Eric. So I've got 24 seconds just to jump on before the news, and then I'll be handing over to the next DJ, which is Tim Fernandez doing his Indie Rock Heaven. So I shall post something. I know I keep saying I'm going to do it during the week, but it's been a manic week this week. But I will pop on and do maybe a live chat in an evening. Maybe there might be more people around in an evening. So that's me. I've gabbed on long enough, and I'll speak to you soon.